Hey, I love being live. No,
How are you? How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. That's great. Thank you so much. So finally, I see your face, and I've seen your, pictures, pretty pictures though. So yeah,
Oh,
we have met on Clubhouse, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, that's
So,
very,
yeah,
very,
you
very.
have your smartphone filmmaking, and the
Yeah,
Darien Donju 1 minute film. We're in
yeah,
both of those a lot. Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So we'll do a open spiel. My name's Ching Juhl. This is a live interview, live show. Today is more than 210 episodes with Omega Keys. So yeah, well, I'm so happy to hosting you, Omega Keys. So finally, I met you in person. Now in person
Yay!
on screen.
I'm seeing, yeah, besides just hearing my voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So where are you right now?
I am in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's wonderful. So did you were you born in there or were you born somewhere else?
Oh no, I grew up in a small town in Indiana, Michigan City, Indiana, but I am a military brat and I also served in the military, so I've been all over.
I'm gonna skip for a second, okay?
Yeah.
Just talk about yourself.
Yeah. Grew up, like I said, I grew up in a small town, Indiana, ran track there, then joined the military after college I joined the military. So traveling around the world, seeing a few things.
Excuse me.
But right now, I'm a filmmaker, and I started the filmmaking journey in oh gosh, 20.
Sorry. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, I had to like cough, so I
I
disappeared. Yeah,
understand.
you know what? Indiana. I went to school in Indiana,
Cool.
Bloomington. I was there for six
Oh,
years.
I went to Indiana State. Yeah.
Oh,
But I had the choice to go. I had a scholarship offer to Indiana University or Indiana State. Indiana State just had the better track team, so I went there.
yeah. So I understand. You studied business administration, MBA, management, right? Administration.
Yes.
So how did
Business administration.
how
Yes.
tell me a little bit how did that related to now your filmmaking? Were you thinking about like being a businesswoman, being an administration person?
Oh, well, first of all, my first undergrad degree back in 97, I was pre-law slash criminology back then. But once I got out and joined the film side, I decided to go back and get another bachelor's first in business administration because I own a production company. So I wanted to learn some things that I just could not learn from being on set or learn at school. And so I figured another way to keep going forward was to finish my MBA. I literally just graduated for for the MBA. So yeah,
Awesome.
filmmaking and in school.
Awesome, awesome. So you know a lot of in terms of marketing, in terms of promoting, or in terms of strategy as a business person. So that must
Yeah,
be very, very helpful for your production.
it is very helpful. I'm applying a lot of things with my current film behind the scenes, which you don't see that like on my personal page, but on my business pages, I'm running wonderful ads. I'm doing things strategically, and everything that I learned is definitely paying off. So it was worth it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So now, were you in the military before you go to school, or in between, or how did that happen? And how long you were in military?
Well, I went to the military in 97, which is after I got my first degree, because I passed the LSTAT, I got into law school, but then realized I could not afford law school. So then I joined the military. And then I was in a total, I have 14 active duty years and 2 years reserve, but I am medically retired. So 16 years.
Wow.
And then I went to school after all of that again, started back over.
Oh my God, you're a tough woman. So, how did military life sort of enhance the way you operate your business and, including your personal everyday life? Is it like you feel you're very resilient in many ways?
Oh, I am, because I learned how to be human resources and project management while in the military. So to me, everything that I do in film with all the moving parts, it's all troop movement to me. So it makes sense.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So while you were in military, did you feel like you have to obey rules or to do things sort of I don't know, like I was in military for 2 years, much shorter
Okay.
than you. Is a orchestra military. Still, I have to listen to the high officials talk every single day and being very obedient. So how about you?
Well, I have an athletic background, so for me, that following orders and things, it was like no different for me. It was just, the process of learning, because I went into the military at a weird time. I went in 1997, so that transition before 9/11, the military was very different before 9/11, and then it changed over. So when I first joined, I went in at a time that was very rigorous. They were still kind of hands on, like some of the movies that you see, that Gomer Pyle type stuff. It was still going on when I first joined, but then it transitioned over. But a lot of that stuff, it's just when you first join. The rest of your military life isn't like that. We're normal people, we are, but it made me be very vocal, very outspoken, because, I'm dealing with a lot of male energy in the military. And when I'm, a platoon sergeant or a platoon leader, and I'm in charge of, 35 people, sometimes it could be 125 people, you have to be able to be confident and not scared to speak out or outdo. And see, because I ran track, I was a little competitive. So
Right, right.
I may not be as strong as you, but I can outlast and outdo you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, now I understand you worked as like crew member for some of the shows and film shows like the originals and Finding Carter and
Yes.
so like yeah, how did what triggered you to form your own production company? Is that like a one thing or just like a period of several like productions and you say I can do this too?
Now, when I soon as I went into the film industry, my goal was to be a filmmaker. And I had, because I had a book publishing company before the filmmaking company, and the goal was to transition all those books I have under my own name. Now, with the release of the book for Keeping Secrets, I have 48 titles
Wow. Wow. What does
that
that
I've
mean?
written.
What does
I've
it
written
mean 48 titles
48,
meaning?
48 books that I published by myself,
Oh my god.
not
Oh my god.
including all the authors I had under my company. I'm not counting those. I'm counting what I physically wrote myself.
Wow, awesome, awesome.
So that transition into the film was to be able to take what I had already created from my creative side and see it on film, because I always wanted to be in film somewhere growing up. I just did not know that I actually could, because even playing when I was younger, whether it was cutout paper dolls, the little army men action figures, or my Star Wars action figures, I would literally write out scripts and have them acted out. Like, some of my friends didn't want to play with me because I was like, "No, you got to say this from the script. Read this, read it." But I always used to be like that. But once you get into school, you don't see those things offered. Well, back then when I was in school, I didn't see those things offered. So I never knew it was even an opportunity for me to do it. So, so over the years, I got wrapped up into what I knew I could do. It wasn't until I came down to Atlanta and I had been down here 6 months. My niece had moved down here and she seen a casting call for a new show, which was The Originals. And it was a spinoff of the Vampire Diaries. And she was like, "Hey, Auntie, I think that you should apply." And I'm like, "I don't want to be an actor. What? No." That's because they were looking for some witches at the time. But I did it. I did it. And the very next day, I was on set and I immediately got upgraded. Like I got pulled out of that background position into being a stand in. So more on the crew side, like immediately. But once I got on set, I knew that's where all those years, it was always something missing. And I found what was missing for me. That was it.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. That's a really good lesson, for some younger people or even, older people when they want to get into film or television and to find some of the work, right? Like a crew member or PA or AP, whatever you call that. And then you never know, at least when you go on these set, you learn the dynamics
You
and
learn.
rhythm, right?
Yes, you learn. My advice to anybody aspiring to be a filmmaker is to get on sets. And I'm not just talking about go get on an indie set, go get on the bigger sets, you know, as background, and then work your way up to being a PA so you can learn these things, because a lot of the indie films, they some of them are still learning, so you're not going to learn the right way. You're not going to really learn set etiquette that way. After you go work on the other sets, then go work on the independent films
Mm,
so you can be in bigger roles that way.
interesting.
But if you want to truly learn filmmaking, go work on those $1 million budgeted sets,
Mm,
because they're always looking for people there, especially here in Atlanta. There's
mm.
casting calls daily for
Yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. So when you talk about writing, when you have like 48 titles, do you have one niche of your style, or they're all very different?
They are all very different, which is why I write under a bunch of different pseudonyms. Like
Oh.
I write under multiple names because I can go anywhere from being very romantic to very I'm gonna kill you now, or very you're in space now. Vampires. I am whatever I feel like my mind wants to write,
Uh-huh.
that's where it's gonna go. Well, I shouldn't say I feel like, those voices in my head feel like they want to talk.
Yeah, that's awesome. So back, rewind a little bit. How did you grow up? Like, are your parents in arts or in writing, or you read a lot when you were young? How did this whole skill of storytelling came from?
Okay, my dad was in the Navy, so I was left with my mom a lot, and I come from a very big family. So me and all these siblings that I have, and sometimes the cousins stay in there. But one thing was funny. My mom was a reader. And how I learned to read is because my mother is dyslexic. And when she used to read, I would be sitting behind her playing in her hair, because she had this beautiful afro that I just loved to play in. And I would be over her shoulder behind you when she read like this, keeping her hand under each word. And she read out loud, but I didn't know she was dyslexic.
Hmm.
And when she was putting her hand there, it was making the words all kind of stay in place. But because she read the words out loud, I learned how to read at a very early age, and so I became a writer like my mother. But my mother used to sit at the kitchen table sometimes, and she'd be on the phone, and then when she'd get up, there would be a beautiful mural of characters that she drew, like on the kitchen table in pencil.
Wow.
And it wasn't until I was older that I realized my mother is a creative. She just didn't have, she was born in the 40s. She didn't have those opportunities to be a creative, but that's where this comes from. It comes from her.
Awesome. Right, awesome. So I think from lots of creative person, when I've been interview enough people, it's always the family influence, the parents sort of intellectual influence is very important, isn't it?
Yes, it absolutely is. She was big on education,
Hmm.
as was my father, education and being worldly.
Hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm going to share a your recent work from Amazon, and yeah, do you see it?
No, that's
Passion.
old. That's
Oh,
the
sorry.
old. That
Oh,
was
I'm
my
sorry.
very first
Oh, I'm
book.
sorry.
I love it
That's an
though.
old one.
Like I
Okay.
said, that's very old. But look, that's spicy. There she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
new one, Keeping Secrets,
Yeah.
which is
So,
like the title of the movie.
yeah, yeah. And 73 pages. That's
Yeah,
quite a
that
big.
was a really short novella back in the day. So that
Uh-huh.
is hilarious.
Yeah, I found that on Amazon. So yeah, people buy it 3.25 for Kindle. So there's a paperback also.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if they still sell the paperback. If they do, oh, I guess they
No,
do.
no,
Now,
currently unavailable.
yeah, I'm
Currently,
like, that was so old.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the current one?
The
What do you
current
call?
one is the same title as the movie I released. It is Keeping Secrets.
Oh, oh, okay, 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 okay.
See,
All right.
you looked up by my name. Keeping
Uh,
Secrets is
Yeah.
written by Rebecca K. Watts.
Oh
It's
yeah,
still
yeah.
me
I
with
have
the
that.
name Rebecca K.
I
Watts.
have
Yeah,
that. Okay.
that one's
Uh,
me.
I'll show you. Okay. So I checked you out for IMDb, and in IMDb that is your trailer, right? Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So shall we play it?
Oh, yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. So here's the
You're going
sound.
undercover.
What?
Detective Hastings, do you think this is the work of a serial killer?
Um, what happened today here is very, very unfortunate, and the cause of death has not been determined yet at this time. Um, if you please excuse me.
This is Kathy Taylor for Tell All News.
You're going undercover. She has no training as a detective. None. Nothing.
You're doing great. All right, just try not to focus on the obvious. Can I help you, detective?
Why my girls? You know that newness gonna wear off real soon.
That's actually one of
Got it?
our leads.
Is that
It was funny.
okay? So thank you. So that's the trailer. So I guess the log line. You want to do a log line for us?
Oh,
It
yes.
has to do with killer with some kind of
Yes,
hot
in order to
girl.
catch, yeah,
Yeah.
in order to excuse me, a beat cop must go undercover in order to catch a serial killer.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Must go undercover at a strip club in order to catch a serial
Yeah,
killer.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, I wanted to say thank you for a couple of people in our what do you call in our audience.
Oh,
Hey, Louis, great to see you. Thank you. Yukiko, thank you for being there. Michael, thank you. And of course, my friend and fan from Clubhouse, Sharkfin Tech. His real name is Mark. Thank
oh,
you. Yeah.
hello. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah. Now, when you shoot that, is that your first direction? writing and the film? Like is this first or is already many? Um,
No, that's number 8.
oh my god! Oh my god! That's crazy. So,
Yeah.
how does this whole production go? Do you fundraise first, or do you use your own money, or and then also in terms of getting the cast, do you have a cast agent, or you just find them yourselves?
I have fundraised in the past, but not for this particular film. Some of my other films helped to fund this, and I used some of my own savings and some of my credit in order to fund this because was the highest budgeted film that we have filmed. So yeah, because this one was 150.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so but
Yeah.
that and the casting agent, I used to use Colorful Castings, which was one of my very dear close friends, but he passed away right
Uh,
2 weeks before he started filming this. But he had
wow.
already put me in touch with the Passion Experience, which is
Mm,
another casting agency, and she is awesome. She is really great, and I will be using her going forward because she's just so nice. You have to meet good people in this industry. She's so nice, and she gives you exactly what you're looking for. So she's great, and she anticipates if someone isn't going to show up, she's already sending another person instead of, leaving us without having a person that we need. No, she's awesome.
mm. How long did this take you to shoot this thing? Like a month or 6 weeks, or I don't know.
No, we
Yeah.
actually shot this film.
Yeah.
Actual principal photography was 9 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I run a quick and fast set, but it helps that I am directing and also running a camera. So some of the setups can be a lot quicker because I know exactly what I want. Darian was one of the other camera guys, and our guy Boise Lee was it.
Oh.
But in order to do that, the pre-production phase with my business partner Kathy Tellall, we are very, very, very organized. So it took all of that prep beforehand in order for us to do these 9 days and
Mm.
run like a well-oiled military machine.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Wow, that's amazing. I love the mood of it and the color. And the
Oh,
color
thank you.
is, yeah, it's a very mysterious and also, kind of violent in its own way. And
Yeah.
how did you find the locations? Is it is
No, some of the locations because we start looking so far out, we start pre-production like 6 months out. So we can start narrowing down, going through the script and seeing possible locations that we do. Like once again, my business partner is very great at, this is her lane of getting locations. Some of the stuff I found on my own, but the other ones that I didn't have, she had.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So, one other technical thing is what kind of camera do you guys use? Do you have to use simultaneously two or three cameras to shoot, or just the one camera? And what camera is that?
No, I shoot with 2 or 3 cameras most of the time, and I use a Black Magic 6K Pro.
So when you shoot, do you use, like, you say if you use three cameras, right, at simultaneously, do you use a similar, or when I do live, prefer to do exactly same camera if I have
Oh
three.
no, we use the same exact cameras. I have two, and so whatever somebody else
Uh,
has, it has to be the Black Magic. But our my director of photography, he has the same camera as well. So
awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah. And you must have a really good editor.
I edited the film.
You did it. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's
I
awesome.
was the editor.
Oh my
Yes.
god, you do everything. You do
Yeah,
everything. Yeah,
I
yeah.
had to learn. I When I decided I wanted to own a not publishing company, a production company,
Mm,
I knew I needed to learn every single aspect
mm. Right.
of filmmaking. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I edited the film, and then my team, we went back through, and smoothed some things out
Mm.
together. But all of that was me.
Wow. What software do you use, Maya?
I actually did that one in Adobe Premiere,
Uh-huh.
but I will be shifting more towards DaVinci.
Yeah, I heard that everybody loves DaVinci these
Yeah,
days. Yeah. I use Final Cut Pro 10, and it's really hard to switching to a
yeah,
different.
it is, but it needs to be done so I can have when I want to do more team efforts, it
Yeah,
will be better with DaVinci.
I see. I see. So you can sort of simultaneously have someone else working with you, right? In
Yeah.
long distance.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, you can have it with Premiere Pro, but Pro costs so much. Like I can
Yeah.
afford it, but not everybody on my team,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I can't expect them to consistently pay what I'm paying to keep
Yeah.
that software. And since I have Black Magic cameras already, DaVinci is free.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hope Da Vinci is not going to starting to charge people because Premiere, right, Pro used to just a subscription base. Now
Yeah,
no, you can buy it earlier.
you could
Now
buy it
is
out and not have to continue paying. Now it's
yeah,
subscription based, and it
yeah,
almost forces you,
yeah,
it upgrades you all the time, so it's always forcing you into the subscription because
yeah,
there's I didn't even look at it, and next thing I know I had 2023 on my computer. I'm like, I did not do this as 2023, but
yeah.
it forced it upon me.
Right, right. So, you do so many things, right? Produce writing books, and so what is next? Are you currently working on something else?
I am currently doing a rewrite to a script. um I'm making it a little longer right now. I'm at 53 pages. I'm going to slap another 20 pages on it because I know the type of actors that I have, they're going to give me that 90-minute cut because I allow them to breathe and not rush the characters. So I am finishing up that. And of course, that's another thriller. It won't be so heavy on the horror side as the Keeping Secrets, but it still will be a thriller. And in April, we are actually filming the true crime docu series,
Wow.
um, Murder, Vengeance, and Scams.
Sounds like I'm gonna watch like this.
That's why we have different episodes. We have the murders and where serial killers, they'll fall up under there, but then we'll have the little scammy ones, which will be the lighter episodes where we're
Yeah,
dealing with, people that were credit card scammers, old lady that's been robbing people
yeah.
for years, stuff like that. So we'll have a mix that everyone can watch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, in terms of accessibilities to the public, huh? I know three of your films are on Tubi. So, tell us
Mhm.
about it. Like, what is your process? For some people, don't know what the heck is Tubi, and how did you get on Tubi?
Oh, well, with Tubi, you have to go through a third party aggregator, which is, people that can connect you with being up on there. You can't just walk up to Tubi without having your own IP and saying, hey, I want my film on there. You have to go through somewhere else. And a third party aggregator, it could be a distributor or just a third party. And I found them by doing my research years ago. They Google and seeing who is the best as a third party aggregator, and just seeing the reviews and seeing everything. Two of my films are on there. I actually went through indie rights, and which I really enjoy indie rights. There's nothing wrong with them. But for my third one, Keeping Secrets, I actually decided to use Film Hub so I can see more of the back end with my numbers and things and be able to market immediately and know that my marketing is working instead of just waiting for a report to come out, and that could be 6 months down the road. So I need um Film Hub is because I am doing the marketing and I need to know what's going on so
Hmm.
I can target, and it's working very well. So
Wow. So, how long you've been on Film Hub via Film Hub go to Tubi? Like, how
um,
long do you see the progress?
the progress, this is funny because Keeping Secrets just was released 3 weeks ago
Oh my
on Tubi.
God.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was just released 3 weeks ago, but they send out a weekly update. And from that weekly update, I can tell the projections for this film, they're way higher than all of my films put together.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome to know. So, when you say marketing, right?
Hmm.
What do you mean by marketing? Like, what kind of thing? Can you just in general? I don't mean to, be
Oh, you're fine.
nosy. I
I
am
love this.
nosy.
So this is my
Yeah,
lane. I'm
it's like what, like, my Young Gun Diary is my feature documentary, right? And
hmm
suppose it's delivered to Tubi, and we saw it live on October last
hmm
year, and I don't see any sign of making money though. Like,
Oh,
what
wow.
should I do?
You have to really get out there and push. Like, I am running ads on social media, targeted ads to specific audience, because you can select the audience that you're looking for. So I look for films or filmmakers that are, excuse me, that are similar to what I'm doing, and target them on social media. And I'm not paying a lot for this. It's like $5 a day that I'm running the ads on for that. But you have to have something catchy that's on there. Like, if you go to my keeping secrets on Instagram or on Facebook, you'll catch some of my wording on there to see, okay, that's an ad, that's just random stuff on there. But you have to know, you have to find your audience and get it to them. The issue that you're going to have with my young diary, though, is definitely your wording, because with social media ads, they tend to flag anything political or social justice. So you won't be able to target. They're going to target who they want to see the ad, not who you want. And I found that the hard way with my documentary, Survive in America, that those ads aren't going to work unless I completely change up what my film is. Just say it's a historical documentary, but not a documentary covering racism in America, because what they're going to do is target it to all the Trump people, which is
Hmm.
crazy. Like, because it's absolutely not that, but that's who they targeted to. And so it wasn't working with that. And so, like, I had to change it up. But also, like, on my personal pages, I'm very open and friendly about who I am. And I constantly engage with my audience. I show them the process of the filmmaking. I let them know when my film is like doing good. I let them know, oh my gosh, guys, we're still on Tubi. I get on Clubhouse, and I speak. I do interviews. I am willing to, I'm not one of those people that I look at people, that other people's page and be like, oh, they only have 200 followers. I can't be on there. I see any opportunity as an opportunity to get out there and speak. And you never know who's listening. So
Hmm.
that's my way of marketing.
Yeah, no, that's really smart. That's right, because you even if you can influence one person, that one person will influence another person of that one person, right? So you
Right.
never know. And in terms of Tubi, do they once you get on, do they have a time limit? Say, we'll just do it, your film for a year or two. Are there any limit ending time?
Well, that part right now, I'm not privy to that part of it. It's on there and it's going to go, because I think the people that have the ending time on it are the big studios. Like, we're going to license this to you for a different time, because Tubi is completely different than what Netflix is. Like, Netflix, they pay up front to see the films, and Tubi, we make money per the views of the films.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. The views is how we get paid, not them just looking at this stuff. Oh, I think this film is going to make this much, so take this money up front.
Mm. Are there any numbers, like someone see our film each time they watch it, say they watch the whole thing? Do we make like 1 cent?
Well, if you're on Amazon, you're going to make that 0.01,
Oh my
because I have films on there too. And so, like, the sales from that, unless you're on the video on demand side, of course that's going to make more, but
God.
no, you're going to make it. They changed so much, you're not going to make a lot. But Tubi actually is the one that pays out the highest for filmmakers. And so I mean, I would just put it out there. My film has been on Tubi 3 weeks. So I have the update. And so 3 weeks. So I'm sure the full 3 weeks hasn't been reported, but I'm almost close to $10,000 already.
Oh my God.
So
That's crazy.
yeah,
Wow. Wow. Congratulations.
thank you. Like
Wow.
I said, the numbers are looking pretty good for this
Oh
one.
my God. Oh my God. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's so you have audience. Congrats. So
thank you.
yeah, and now in terms of filmmaking, right, or writing, and let's just talk about filmmaking. And you have a writing side, then you have production side, then you have post production, and you have distribution. Which part do you find the most challenge?
It's always the marketing side. Even though I can do it, that once the film is done, I am so ready because I'm a creative. I am so ready to just dive and let's film again immediately. And my business partner is like, slow down. I'm very animated. So catching me up on my collar, like, hold on. We have to make the money back for these other films
Yeah,
before you just jump out there all willy nilly like this.
yeah,
But but my thing is like I try to do some films back to back because I have 3 films on Tubi now, so I have 3 films generating the money for us to go again.
that's awesome.
So that's the great thing about it. But like I said, marketing is always going to be the hardest because you're going to have your ups and downs. You have to figure out what's working and what's not going to work. If you're looking for reviewers for your film, you never know what you're going to get. I had 2 Rotten Tomato reviewers come back. One of them absolutely loved the film. The other one, I'm not sure he was watching my film, but he hated whatever he thought he saw, which was a complete opposite of what the film was about. But everybody is entitled
Yeah.
to their own opinion. But the overall consensus of the film from the viewers
Mhm.
is that they love it. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna go with versus that one person in UK's opinion.
Yeah. So I see you have very good rating on IMDb. Now, how does one get rating? Like, I don't even, do I have to set up a page for my film?
Well, you have to have an IMDb first.
I
Yeah,
do.
you
I do. I do have
okay.
one. I also
Well,
have
what
a
I do
professional
is
one. Yeah.
no, see, I just tell people, when it's part of marketing.
Yeah.
So I go back and I thank people for watching the film, even whether it's on my personal page or it's my business page. I go back and I say, thank you so much for watching the film. If you enjoyed, please leave a review.
Wait. So, but you need to have IMDb as you account. Then
I
you
do.
you have to, yeah, you have to have your film also has account, right?
Yeah, I
Oh, okay.
give
Okay.
my film has its keeping secrets
Yeah.
IMDb,
Yeah.
and so I send them the link
Yeah.
directly to the section for the review section. I don't
Wow.
I don't want to give people too many clicks.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I take them straight there. I'm like, thank you for watching the film.
Yeah.
Please go leave a review. So
Yeah.
like when you scroll down, like, oh well, up in the corner, that rate
Mm.
thing, I
Where?
typically go right over there for the rate and send them
Where?
that.
Where the ring?
In the
Oh,
corner,
here,
the
here,
blue,
here.
click
Oh,
anywhere on.
and I heard don't rate 10. That's like they say most effective way is rate 8 or 9. Do you know that?
Well,
They say
I find that a lot of people still rated mine a 10. So hey, I would, I have
Oh, okay.
look as someone who sometimes does ride share to
Uh,
bring in money for films.
yeah.
I think the most stars is always the best stars because it combats that person that wants to come through and give your film a 1-star rating.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you have a bunch of 10s and 8s and then you get that 1 star, it's not going to plummet your
Oh,
score.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody go watch, but everybody go watch on Tubi for Keeping Secret and come back to rate 10.
Yes. 10, 8, 9, or 10. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I watched your film, but I didn't finish. I watched
Oh
some. Yeah.
gosh.
Very nice. Very nice.
So, what are you thinking so far? Because I know, some people, everybody can't handle the gore side of it. But what
Yeah.
do you think so far?
No, I like the feel of it. I like the lighting of it. I like I myself. I just get scared,
Yeah, and I understand. I know some friends. I mentioned this earlier that I
Yeah,
have some friends that are very, very. They're scary,
yeah, yeah,
so they fast forward a little through them parts. But
yeah.
my series,
At the beginning, the guy was like a beat the shit out of that woman.
yeah, he was very abusive. I say that my killer is a mix of like Jason
Uh-huh.
meets the scary movie, the scream mask person. You know
Yeah.
how the scream mask person like to talk to you,
Uh-huh.
just sit there and hold conversations.
Yeah.
But Jason didn't. So he has the brutality
Mhm.
of Jason,
Yeah.
but that comedic side
Yeah.
of the scary mask scream person
Right.
that
Right.
wants to talk to you, then get upset
Uh-huh.
because you're not talking back.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. No, I need to finish it. So and then I can give you a full report.
My inspiration was a very old because I love thrillers.
Uh-huh.
So my inspiration for the film when I first wrote this back in 2012,
Yeah.
my inspiration was from the movie Seven. I
Oh.
love that movie,
Uh-huh.
with Brad Pitt and
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I love that movie, and the whole concept of who is this killer and the deadly sins
Yeah.
of it. So it's kind of taken from that, like
Yeah.
my spin. Yeah.
Right. 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 Yeah. So now we change it a little subject. This month is Black History Month. Now,
Yes.
so as a African American yourself, do you find it's difficult sometimes to be excellent or to earn respect from the world? How did you feel?
It is, and that's also why I speak out so much when people try to diminish me in any way. That's why I'm very vocal. My mother was an activist. So, uh, she fought hard for our voting rights.
Mm,
And one of my older siblings actually, because they were born in the 50s and the 60s, they actually they're behind a year in school because of segregation. When the schools first, even though the laws were passed, schools literally closed down so they would not integrate.
mm,
So my siblings lost it. So I'm very passionate when it comes to our rights. So it is very hard. I dealt with it a lot in the military, being a woman and then being a Black woman.
mm-hmm,
So a lot of times they didn't want me there. When I first joined the military, I was in the Air Force before I was in the Army. In the Air Force, I was military intelligence. So being not just a woman walking in the room, but a Black woman
mm,
walking in the room and being the smartest person in the room
mm,
was very hard. It doesn't, your education doesn't matter,
mm,
your experience doesn't matter. It's unfortunate that the color of your skin is what they're looking at. And, you can, no matter how much education you have, sometimes you're just blocked. And like in the filmmaking world, sometimes you're just blocked. Sometimes you're just not allowed to get in those rooms. When I started out in this industry 10 years ago, one of the first things that stood out to me on sets were the crew of these film sets.
mm,
Even if it's an all Black film,
mm,
most of the crew was not um, people of color. It
mm,
definitely wasn't Black people, and it wasn't even people of color. Or
mm.
some of the writers on these films that were majority Black weren't by Black people. So walking in, it was very hard for me. I experienced a lot of racism at the
Mm.
beginning on certain sets. And at the beginning I chose not to speak up because I did not want them to take away this opportunity that I'm trying to build for myself. But as I moved on later on, I started speaking up like, nope, we're not dealing with this today. Not today.
Mm.
So I'm very outspoken when it comes to that.
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. And I know it's not easy. There's constantly incidents and police brutality. And I remember I went out street to protest and shoot film Black Lives Matter, and also
Yeah,
Eli, the violinist, got killed. I think he was like in middle west, right, Midwest. He was just
yeah.
walking on the street. So, and then latest also has incident, and also I met Gwen Carr. She's the mother of Eric. What's the name?
Burner.
Yeah,
Is it
Eric
Burner?
Honor. Sorry, yeah, and that was several years ago also, the incident. Now, as a mother, you're a mother of three, and so how nervous were you, or are you, about all these incident going on?
Let me tell you a story. When my oldest son, who's 30 now, he was 16 years old. I was in the house with my husband at the time. Not the one that I have now, the other husband, the ex. Because I just want to clarify.
You have several husbands.
No, just two. But we were in our home, but we were in the bedroom and we hear this loud bang on the door, and we like go to the door, and the police are like, "We have your son." You have who? Because our kids are here. No, we have your son, and I need you to get over to these apartments. It was a black police officer that actually came to the door.
Mm.
He said, "You need to get to these apartments. You need to get over there right now because I don't know what's going to happen." So we go over to, it's a neighboring apartment. So we get over to the apartments. These police officers basically have their guns on my son. He's 16, but at the time he was 6'3".
Wow.
And they said that, he looked like a burglary suspect that they were looking for because they caught him jumping over a fence. So saying that he's a burglary suspect. Of course, my son was terrified. I was terrified, but I was in the military at the time. And so I used the military to kind of speak to them of like, hey, me and my husband were both in the military. So, our son's a good kid. He doesn't have a record. Just, if you need to just run and stuff, he's never done anything wrong. And of course, we already knew that he matches the suspect was a bunch of BS.
Mm-hmm.
But, luckily our son was safe. But when we got home, I ripped a hole into him. I hugged him first, but then I ripped a hole into him because he could have died because he snuck out. He snuck out the house while he didn't realize we were still awake. Just watching TV room. He snuck out the house to go see a girl, and he jumped over our back fence up into that neighborhood.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he learned really the hard way that him just being a teenage boy could have gotten him killed.
Mm,
And I've
right.
had problems with my middle son as well. Him just getting off the school bus one day when I lived in Gwinnett County here in Georgia. He was in middle school. He got off the school bus, and I see the police cars like flying, but I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm just looking. And I mean, I was very aware that I was the only black family in the neighborhood. And then it was like, it was a Asian family as well. So like we were the only two in there. And I knew this from going on my jogs and walks through the neighborhood. But I never thought that the police were flying to the bus stop because some black kid was walking in the neighborhood, and it's no way that he could have been on the bus with the kids that are getting off the bus and just walking home. They said he was looking into windows, and he was literally walking down the street with his headphones on, just left his little friends from school trying to get home.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's just, you just never know when it's going to happen. So, you can't stop your kids from going outside. But oh my gosh, my middle son is 23 now. He knows at 23 to still let me know if he's, because he works overnight. So if he's just hanging out, whatever, he knows to let me know where you at.
Oh,
Please
that's
just
smart.
let me know you're safe. Let me know.
Right.
And if it's too late, I know something's wrong. Like, I don't care. Just text me in the middle of the night. I'll see it when I get up. At least I know you're safe. But if I wake up and he's gone and I know he doesn't have to work and I don't see there, like, I panic.
Yeah. Wow. You have to deal with that kind of thing. Yeah. That's really tough. And we don't see this going to get better in any short time, right? it's going to be
No,
ongoing.
no,
Yeah.
we don't. And it's sad speaking to, my father is will be 88 years old tomorrow.
Mm,
The fact that he's just like the more things change, the more they stay the same.
mm, right, right. Well, congratulations. In a way, you are, very successful, and you get yourself, good education, and you've done so many projects, so many things, yeah, and books and everything. So you
Thank
really
you.
have left a great legacy for your children, right? I mean, isn't that?
I
That's
feel like I'm
awesome.
just getting started, but yes, thank you.
Ah! Yeah, of course, of course. So, yeah, we're almost at the ending. I usually do it's called rapid fire with my guest. Do you want me to
Okay,
do?
let's go.
Oh, okay, okay. So before we do rapid fire, and how about it's like a clubhouse? We met on clubhouse. So, do you want to do a last word? We also say last word, like
Oh,
yeah,
last
anything
words
or
to
anything
any.
you want to last word plus anything you want people to know, and so they can follow.
Well, I want to give a last word to any aspiring filmmaker out there. If you think it, you can do it. There are so many tools out there for you to become a filmmaker. Go to YouTube University and learn as much as you can. If you can't get on set, if you want to be on set and be a filmmaker, go do background work. Just get your foot in the door and start. There's no reason, you know, I didn't have the tools coming up, but you have all the tools at your fingertips and you're never too old to get started. And go watch Keeping Secrets on Tubi right now.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank you so much. My last word actually have several last word. Thank you. First of all, thank you to be with me. And yeah, it's so much fun to talk to you. And I heard your voices so many times in different rooms. And it's so nice to see you finally.
It's nice to
And
see you too.
yeah, my last word, one last word, I always say, do that one thing. One thing will lead to another. That's my
Yes,
last word.
I
And then
agree.
yeah, yeah. And then third last word. Watch my Young Gun Diary if you can. It's on TV, and it's free, and you will be moved. Yeah. And also people, if you are a lot of people in the audience, they are already my subscribers. So I don't ask people to just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I say, please watch my work.
Yeah,
Then,
you need those views. You need views. Views
yeah,
matter. Watch,
yeah,
watch, comment on her
yeah,
posts as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Comment
Watch
and
and
subscribe.
comment and subscribe.
Yeah,
It's because if you just say subscribe, that's an empty subscribe, right?
yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
the
Yeah.
algorithm. And by the way, I actually was thinking, hey, Sharkfin, I have an idea this Friday. Oh, I do every Friday, 12 p.m., do a smartphone video production clubhouse.
Yep.
We've been doing it consistently for 103 episodes every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So this Friday, actually, I'm going to do this. Okay, Sharkfin, you listen. I'm going to do this. Say, okay, right now, no matter how many people in my room, right? We are going to support each other. Okay.
Yes.
So you are going to this week watch 3 to 5 people's video on YouTube or other platform, right? Mostly YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. And then make comments and then subscribe them. Because do you know sometimes when you watch YouTube, right? Even it's a great content, you just watch it and you don't
Mm-hmm.
even subscribe. I mean, sometimes I even forget. So
Right.
we need to support because you just like consume all this information, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you end it, but you don't say anything, and you don't subscribe. That's not nice. Right? So I
Right.
think I'm going to make people come to my room. Like we could do it at the simultaneously. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Go watch, a short video, and then say something to the filmmaker or video maker, and then subscribe. So if we can do that constantly, this community, the creators, needs to be noticed, right? Content creator.
you also, since it is a smartphone and you created your yin yang diary with it, tell them to watch the film. And if they actually have a Tubi subscription, they can hit that thumbs up for you and rate you on IMDb.
Oh yeah, yeah. I need to set up my Yangon Diary on MDB because I
Oh,
don't have a page yet. So I'll do
okay.
that. Yeah,
Well,
I'll
tell
do
them
that.
to watch it on Tubi and give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's great. That's great. All right, you guys, did you hear that? Dexter, hi, how are you?
That's
Good
my
night.
husband.
Hi, husband. Oh, good to see you, husband. Okay, so rapid fire. What did you do with your husband yesterday?
I actually relaxed and cooked him. I cooked him dinner and we just actually relaxed because I have just been running and going. Tomorrow I am headed out for my producer's retreat. So I just really wanted to stay home and just relax. So just I made lamb chops and it was wonderful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's nice. I was going to actually cook, but then I ended up going out, to be in a restaurant where I had a view of Manhattan, which I don't
Mm,
do that
that
often.
sounds
All
good
right,
too.
so rapid fire. You already cooked the lamb chop. In overall, what is your favorite genre of food? Like a
My,
Chinese, Japanese, or Mexican? Like, what do you like?
Brazilian.
What's Brazilian? Oh, you mean
Right.
Brazil? Brazil,
Brazil,
right?
yeah, but Brazilian food, Brazilian steakhouses.
Oh,
Yes, that's
really?
my
So,
food.
so what
Yeah,
is the Brazilian food? Like the
I mean,
different.
there's steakhouses like Fogo de Chao,
Oh,
things like that. Where they bring it's the way that they cook the meats and bring them out to you. It's just the whole experience. I love that. That's my favorite. It's
wow,
Brazilian. Yes.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So, do you have a favorite city you want to visit just for fun?
I want to read. I want to go to Cairo. I
Cairo.
was supposed to go there when I was in the military, and we got banned. They ended up doing their Civil War thing, and then we couldn't go, and so I just never got back around to that. So I just really want to go there because I'm very interested in pyramids and just the history there.
That's very exotic, Carol. And now you said you're in military. Do you have to move around? Like, where's your base? And have you been many different cities or countries?
Oh, I am. Since 2014, I have been off paper for the military, so I'm no longer in. But yes, I moved around like a lot because you end up different places whether you're in training or is it your full duty station, or you can go what's like TDY. So sometimes you can end up multiple places in the same year.
Oh, okay. So speaking of military, what is the most two things you benefit from being in military other than you're getting education free?
Yes, because I definitely use that to my benefit. But one of the things for me is that camaraderie that never never goes away. I have a bunch of people that I'm still very close with from the military that it's spanning almost 20 years now. So that like never goes away, and then just having structure and knowing that because you've been in the military that you can almost get through anything else. Like, oh, this is a piece of while everyone else is stressed out, you're over here like, I got this. It's not that bad. I'm not in a foxhole. So
Yeah. Do you find your tolerance level is a little higher? Like you
it
tolerate
it
bullshit?
it, it depends on the bullshit though. It depends on there's a difference between bullshit and disrespect. I do
Yeah.
not tolerate disrespect, but
Uh-huh.
certain BS things, going through the levels to make things happen, putting in your dues to make things happen, or
Mm,
just doing the grunt work to make things happen. That stuff doesn't bother me at all.
mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now back to rapid fire. And which book do you read recently you would recommend us to read?
Oh, of mine
Yeah.
or of
No,
oh,
just the other people's book.
I
Or you
just
can
actually
recommend yourself.
Yes, I recommend myself because once again, Keeping Secrets is out on Tubi, but it's also on Amazon as a book. So go
Yeah.
read the book.
Oh, keep secret. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Keeping Secrets
Yeah.
is the book. And that one is under Rebecca K. Watts.
Oh, okay. How many
Yeah.
pages?
I don't remember how many pages it
The
is. I
old
have to
one
look.
is 73.
Yeah, but that's a whole different book. So no, this one is longer than 73. I know it's almost close to 50,000 words. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, yeah, and if you won $25 million tomorrow, how would you spend?
Oh, I will have an amazing film production studio. I mean, I definitely wouldn't spend all of that on the studio, but I would actively have me a smaller scale studio where I can film multiple productions at once. That is like my dream, to film several films back to back. Bring on a bigger team, have a writer's room. Like that's my dream. It will go into filmmaking to continue making generational wealth.
That's awesome.
And of course put some aside for my retirement.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's awesome. And I was having a thought and I lost. Now, if you have an opportunity to have a dinner with someone dead or alive, who would you want to have dinner with?
I have worked with so many awesome people in the past, but one person I haven't had a chance to meet is like Issa Rae. I would like to sit down and have dinner with her, and not so much just pick her brain up over filmmaking, but just her as a person, how she's navigating Hollywood, because she came from a web series to being, having her TV show. You know, she went from being a Diary of an Awkward Black Girl to being Issa Rae.
Mm,
So
yeah, awesome, awesome. Any favorite genre of music?
I love everything. It's funny because isn't it ironic by Alanis Morissette pops in my head quite often, quite
Yeah,
often,
yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
I am it's funny, people would not realize this, but I grew up actually listening to a lot of country music because my mama plays country music a lot, but that is not, certain songs are not my favorite, but I'm very eclectic
Hmm.
with, I can be jamming to Beyonce one minute and then the next minute I'm on Shania Twain.
Mm. Wow. Did you watch the Super Bowl mid?
Rihanna,
Yeah, did
yes,
you
I
like it?
did. Yeah, I did because I like Rihanna and I don't feel like you always have to do so much to make your point. It's subtleties, just like with writing sometimes. It's subtle, but it's still there.
Yeah, I was like expecting she take off her clothes at one
Well,
point.
but I thought it at first, but then I seen that belly and I was like, oh, well, it makes sense that
Oh, you saw
she's
it?
pregnant.
I
Yeah,
didn't see it.
I noticed her stomach when she turned to the side, and I noticed it.
Oh,
But at first, I was just like, she can still be dealing with some post baby weight. But I was like, no, that looks more like she's pregnant. And then they announced it,
oh,
yeah, she's pregnant. But no, I
oh,
noticed it right away. And when you know people, you just know they're pregnant. When pregnant women boobies look different.
I see, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't notice that. So it's like I was expecting, she's gonna take off her outfit in the very end. It's like, oh, that didn't happen. Darn, So
Mhm.
anyway, yeah. So we're almost end. How about one more question? If oh yeah, you are very good on all social media. And look, this is your social media. I typed it out, and let's see. So yeah, so which one you like the best, or you do the best? You do the often.
I well, now my Instagram is linked to my Facebook, but I engage more with the responses and comments on Facebook than I do on Instagram. So, yes, I know the young folks are going to say, "Oh, Instagram, Instagram," but Facebook, you just get more conversation. Instagram, you get more reactions and people posting the emojis.
Mm. Right,
So I like
right.
Facebook because I actually like, I'm a writer. So I like to write.
It's interesting you say that. I haven't even thought about that because on Facebook, they like to see my personal post, actually.
Yeah. They
Like,
like, and that's
yeah,
how you
yeah,
build your people up to follow
yeah.
you as filmmaker. They want
No,
to know about you.
no, they like if I talk about my son, right? And there's
Mhm.
like 500 people liking it. If I just talk about I'm going to interview Omega, and this is like a very few people respond, you know?
But it's also the Facebook algorithms, it limits certain things. So you
Yeah,
have to learn
yeah,
how to strategically word
yeah,
things
yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
in order to get people to pay more attention to those
yeah.
posts.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I noticed if I just directly share a YouTube post to Facebook, I don't get enough response. So today,
Nope.
actually, I post our picture, then I
Yeah.
copy the comment on top. I did not use YouTube link.
Hmm.
I don't know if it works, but I should. I
It
should.
works a lot. It works a lot better when it links link. I will do that a lot of times. I will leave the link off, and then once I get enough engagement, then I'll go put the link back on it.
Ah, see, this is a marketing queen. You should
Yes.
have a workshop on that. All
Oh,
right,
I do
so
under my
mhm.
business like a boss
Oh,
side.
yeah. So, do you have a room on Clubhouse?
No, I don't have a specific room for myself. I don't honestly have the time to run them, but I can be found often in your smartphone
Mm,
room,
okay.
the NDAF room,
Yeah.
and Darian Dion Jules 1 minute
Yeah.
film schools room.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. And do you get on Clubhouse often? Like, like a little bit,
I
once
do
a week?
for your guys' rooms. I
Okay.
do when I have time, but sometimes like when your room is running, it's the same. Like I could pop in, but then I'm on a meeting call.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I try to do it, when I can. It just depends on what time,
Right.
and
Right.
what's going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
try to listen whenever I can.
Great, thank you. And we're going to Clubhouse is a moving club to house. It's called houses. So
Yeah.
I probably will move to my session to Monday afternoon 5:30. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe I'll get more people come because 12 noon is a little harder for some people, right?
it
In the
is. Some
middle.
people are trying to eat lunch.
Yeah. Well, they can listen to us where they eat. All right.
Yeah.
So I think we're great. And one more last question, very easy. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Wow, that's very that's very what do you call vegetarian
Well,
vegetarian people.
I have never drank coffee.
Oh,
I've just
really?
never liked. Yeah, I've
Y-
never liked the taste of it,
Oh,
and so
that's
it's always been
interesting.
tea.
Just like a
Always tea.
writers, they have cigarette and they have coffee.
My mother used to drink coffee all the time, so I
Yeah.
used to taste it when I was
Uh-huh.
making it for her. So I just
Yeah.
don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you, Amiga, for being my guest, and thank everybody
Thank
else in the
you.
audience to make questions and make comments. And I'll see everybody again next Wednesday.
Yeah, thank
So
you so much
yeah,
for having me.
thank you, thank you. So I'll see you in Clubhouse sometimes. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. So take care, Amiga, and yeah, I will watch your film, and you watch my film too. Okay.
I've already watched it.
Oh, you
I'll watch
did.
it. I'll
Oh,
watch
okay.
it. I'll play it on I didn't watch it on Tubi, so I'll put it on Tubi now. I watched it when you had Vimeo. When
Oh,
you
really?
first
Oh,
is
thank you.
Vimeo like very
Vimeo.
like almost like a year ago. Yeah, but I'll put
Oh,
it on. Yeah, yeah.
oh, Vimeo, Vimeo. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Okay.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Bye, dear. Thank
Bye bye.
you. Bye. So I see you up first. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Shark Tech, Lewis, and Nick, um, and my friend Yukiko, and Dexter. Who else? Yeah, thanks so much for your comments, Michael. Uh, All right, so I see you next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'm going to also interview a filmmaker. His wait, next Wednesday, yeah. Let me see. Next Wednesday is also African American filmmaker. His name is Oneve White, and he's very accomplished filmmaker, and yeah, lives in Harlem, actually very close to me. All right, so today is what, Friday, right? And Lewis has a room at 9 p.m. um Clubhouse. Yeah, so if you do Clubhouse, check Lewis out. Okay. Alrighty. See you soon. Do you have a room, right? You have a room, yeah. And Lou's doing it like every other week, right? Okay. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.